Chinese New Year, also known as the Spring Festival, stands as one of the most important and vibrant holidays in Chinese culture, deeply rooted in centuries-old traditions and customs. It differs significantly from the Western New Year, both in the way it is celebrated and the cultural significance attached to it. While the Western New Year, commonly marked on December 31st to January 1st, is associated with a single day of revelry and reflection, Chinese New Year can extend for up to 2 weeks and carries an array of distinctive rituals that are meant to usher in a year of prosperity, health, and happiness. One of the first and most obvious differences between these celebrations is the timing. The Western New Year follows the Gregorian calendar, which marks January 1st as the start of the new year. In contrast, Chinese New Year follows the lunar calendar, meaning the date varies each year, typically falling between January 21st and February 20th. This lunar-based system ensures that the holiday's timing aligns with the first new moon of the year, which is symbolically significant for a fresh start. In Western cultures, the New Year's Eve celebrations are generally marked by a single night of festivities that include fireworks, parties, and a countdown to midnight. People gather to share drinks, dance, and celebrate with music. This moment of transition is often accompanied by the ringing in of the new year with a grand spectacle, such as the famous ball drop in Times Square, New York, or fireworks in major cities around the world. The celebration is primarily individualistic, focusing on personal resolutions, reflecting on the past year, and welcoming the year ahead with a sense of anticipation and optimism. The Chinese New Year, on the other hand, is a deeply communal and family-centered event. It's a time when families, often scattered across vast distances, reunite to celebrate and honor their ancestors. This familial focus is at the core of the holiday, and people often travel long distances to return to their hometowns. The sheer scale of the travel involved is so massive that it triggers one of the largest human migration events in the world. This period is referred to as Chunyan, the Spring Festival travel season, and it involves millions of people moving across China to be with their loved ones. The Chinese New Year is also a time to honor ancestors and deities, with people making offerings and visiting temples to seek blessings for the coming year. The elaborate rituals associated with these customs reflect a strong connection to the past, where reverence for ancestors is a central pillar of the celebration. The practices are not only about family togetherness, but also a deep-seated belief in bringing good fortune into the new year through these rituals. While the Western New Year might focus more on personal resolutions, Chinese New Year brings an emphasis on the collective good, such as the prosperity and well-being of the family as a whole. The imagery and symbolism of Chinese New Year celebrations are distinctly different from Western New Year traditions. The color red, for example, is prominently featured in Chinese New Year decor, as it is believed to symbolize good fortune, happiness, and ward off evil spirits. Homes are adorned with red lanterns, couplets, and paper cuttings with auspicious sayings, as well as other decorations that signify wealth, good health, and success. In contrast, Western New Year celebrations tend to focus on themes of renewal and individual achievement, with a wide variety of decorations and symbols that range from glittery ball drops to champagne bottles, all designed to signal the start of a new chapter. Food also plays a huge role in both cultures, but the dishes served during Chinese New Year hold specific meaning. The Chinese New Year feast is not just about indulging in delicious food, but also about eating symbolic dishes that represent prosperity, longevity, and happiness. For instance, dumplings are often shaped like ancient Chinese gold ingots, symbolizing wealth and good fortune. Fish is another common dish, as the Chinese word for fish, yu, sounds like the word for surplus, symbolizing the hope for abundance in the year ahead. Similarly, rice cakes, or nian gao, represent growth and progress, as the word nian means year, and gao sounds like tall or high, symbolizing the wish for. On the other hand, Western New Year meals might include traditional foods like black-eyed peas and collard greens, which are believed to bring good luck and wealth in some southern U.S. traditions, or champagne to toast the new year. However, the focus on symbolism is less emphasized compared to Chinese New Year, where each dish carries with it a deeper meaning and a hope for good fortune. Chinese New Year is also synonymous with the famous tradition of the lion and dragon dances, which are meant to scare away evil spirits and bring good luck. These vibrant performances are held in many communities, with teams of dancers donning elaborate lion and dragon costumes while accompanied by loud drumming, cymbals, and firecrackers. The lion dance is considered a traditional form of Chinese entertainment, and its presence during the celebrations is both a form of cultural expression and a way to ensure that the coming year is filled with positive energy. Meanwhile, in the West, New Year celebrations are often marked by fireworks displays, particularly at midnight, to symbolize the casting away of the old year and to greet the new year with brightness and joy. Although fireworks are a shared aspect between both celebrations, their symbolic meanings differ. While Western fireworks are a show of celebration, the Chinese use fireworks in a more protective and spiritual sense, believing that the loud noises will scare away evil spirits and bad luck. Another notable contrast between Chinese and Western New Year celebrations is the level of formality and the time spent celebrating. In Western cultures, the focus is typically on the countdown to the new year, the celebrations that take place during the night, and the conclusion of the festivities by the early morning. People often go out to parties or gatherings, celebrating with friends and strangers alike, and the celebrations tend to be more public in nature. Chinese New Year, however, is an extended holiday that is often celebrated over multiple days. It's not just about the first day, but also about the customs that follow, such as the Lantern Festival, which marks the end of the celebrations on the 15th day. During this time, people light lanterns, solve riddles written on them, and participate in parades. This prolonged celebration gives more room for family members to spend time together, as well as for communities to partake in larger gatherings and public celebrations. The traditions surrounding the exchange of gifts also differ between the two celebrations. In Western cultures, gift-giving is a prominent feature of the holiday season, with people exchanging presents on Christmas and often continuing the practice into the new year. However, Chinese New Year is known for the giving of red envelopes, or hongbao, which are filled with money and given primarily to children and younger unmarried adults. These red envelopes are seen as a way to transfer good luck and blessings, with the amount of money inside typically chosen based on lucky numbers. The giving of hongbao symbolizes the wish for prosperity and is a way for older generations to pass on their good fortune to the younger ones. Unlike the Western tradition of gift-giving, which focuses on material gifts, the red envelopes are symbolic of sharing wealth and good fortune in a more spiritual and collective sense. While both Western and Chinese New Year celebrations offer a chance for joy and reflection, the way they are celebrated reflects the distinct cultural values that each society holds dear. In the West, the holiday tends to emphasize individual goals, with the focus on personal happiness, achievements, and resolutions. It's a celebration marked by a sense of personal renewal and the pursuit of new beginnings. On the other hand, Chinese New Year emphasizes family, community, tradition, and spiritual practices, highlighting the importance of honoring ancestors, celebrating togetherness, and ensuring the prosperity and health of the family unit. As we've seen, these differences go beyond just the timing and duration of the celebrations. They also extend to the food, the customs, and the cultural symbolism embedded in the practices. While Western New Year celebrations have evolved into a more secular and globalized event that often centers around extravagant parties, fireworks, and the symbolic practice of New Year's resolutions, Chinese New Year remains a deeply spiritual and culturally rich occasion steeped in rituals that reinforce the value of family, good fortune, and respect for tradition. Despite these differences, both celebrations share a common theme: the desire to bring in a new year filled with hope, joy, and prosperity. Whether it's through the excitement of the Western countdown or the family-centered rituals of the Chinese Spring Festival, both traditions remind us of the importance of reflection, renewal, and connection as we move forward into the unknown possibilities of the coming year. The distinctiveness of these celebrations serves as a testament to the diversity of human cultures and the various ways in which we seek to mark the passage of time and bring about positive changes in our lives. So whether you find yourself at a New Year's Eve party in New York City or sitting down to a steaming bowl of dumplings with your family in China, there's a shared sense of hope and renewal that transcends borders and unites us all in the promise of a better tomorrow. If you found these cultural insights fascinating, make sure to subscribe and join us for more eye-opening explorations. Hit the bell so you never miss out on our next adventure into the world's coolest traditions.